Hello everybody and welcome back. Good to talk to all of you again today. And today we are taking a look a little bit at the most recent submarine test. I know the video is a little late. I know a lot of other people have had their videos out already, but it's taken me a little bit longer to really get the video out. So I guess let's start with the positives with the most recent test. So the minute control for depth is a nice little thing. Of course, it's already been recognized that there are small issues, notably the ability to do what I'm doing right here, which is descending down to like 5.7, 0.8, 0.9 meters. And then as soon as I get spotted, let's say by a surface ship, I can immediately dip below the 6-meter threshold and be immune to gunfire. So of course, that's already been noted as something I think that is not really what they were envisioning. So I think they'll address that. But it's nice. You can now very finely, let's say, tune your depth, where it makes for some remarkable underwater gameplay, notably submarine on submarine, when torpedoes are being exchanged and you're doing sort of underwater torpedo beats. So that's kind of really cool. The environmental graphics underwater are really, really nice. I have no complaints about that. The underwater environment looks really nice. On top of that, the effects when you, let's say, torpedo ships and then you kill ships and ships start sinking and everything, it just looks really cool underwater. So a couple of like really solid points to point out. The submarines feel a little bit more fleshed out compared to the last time I tested them. They seem to have had some more thought, I guess, put into the class, and there's a little bit more individual flavor and purpose now, so the German submarines I think are going to be very good for anti-submarine work because they have the hydroacoustic surge. The American submarines I think are going to be more about using their speed boost to maybe get into certain positions that are going to be kind of annoying to play against. And the Russian submarines with their heel, yeah, maybe that's a little weird. Okay, the heel one I haven't really figured out the real purpose for, because when you get depth charge, you're pretty screwed anyways if you get caught in that kind of a position. Now, some people might be wondering what kind of opinion I hold about submarine gameplay and how it interacts with everything on the surface. And the honest answer right now is it's hard to tell. During the PTS server, we were playing with a lot of bots, and with bots comes just... how do you say this? It comes with a degree of you gotta be wary of what kind of conclusions you come to, because bots don't behave like humans, and there's very little team play sometimes with bots. And I should have actually got this kill. The other submarine got it, so even though I had everything lined up there, it wasn't my damage. Rip. But yeah, when you play against bots, bots don't behave predictably the way that humans might behave. And the reason I say that is because as a submarine player with my superior concealment, I would figure that in the early stages of the game I might want to get onto a cap, I might want to go and spot the enemy team destroyers, see if I can take them out with the help of my team. I provide vision, they provide the pew pew. Except BBs and bot cruisers don't really focus down anything. They don't really focus down the high threat ships to submarines. So it's kind of hard to say this is how things are going to go. Furthermore, when I was playing the cruiser, the ASW portion, there's a lot of me being able to roam quite freely around the map, looking for submarines, depth charging them to death. You have to excuse the replay camera. It's not perfect right now. But, in real games, if I was a cruiser in those kind of positions, I'd probably get devastating struck by battleships. So it's hard to say this is how the game will be impacted by submarines as of the moment. Now, of course, it's going to get better because as of patch 0.9.4, submarine battles, which were on the PTS, are moving to the live servers. So there's going to be a bigger population of people who can probably playtest them and try them out and see what they're all about. So I think more of the feelings about how these ships are going to be let's say in the game and impacting the game will be reserved for sort of when we have full player teams. One of the things that I really wanted to try during the PTS server, and this is something that I would really advise Wargaming to do possibly in the future, is to allow especially those of us who have enough people that we can kind of call upon to have this kind of stuff be able to just be moved into a training room. Because one of the things about this particular test this time is that yeah, the training rooms didn't work for the whole submarine thing. So there was no way to there was just no way to get like 12 on 12 action. So on the test phase, where that would have provided very valuable feedback, I think we just didn't get it as much. Oh, by the way, this was hilarious, by the way. I'm absolutely sure the ship should have been there to absorb that torpedo, but instead it went right through and friendly torped the the Dallas. Anyways, so I think that could be something that Wargaming really needs to work on in the future when they want to do more testing, is to actually allow more controlled kind of test environments, and not just purely we're just going to stick you into a game with lots of bots. Because, like I said, the conclusion in this kind of game is difficult. Furthermore, obviously when you're playing with bots, you're basically stuck in pure tier 6 games. And we're not really sure how this would happen if we were, let's say, bottom tier. Again, additional test conditions we were just not really able to try or satisfy or anything like that. So hopefully that's something that they learn from. One other, I guess, issue so far is the reticle for submarines is a little iffy. It's just this box, and it's really hard to lead sometimes because you're not getting any kind of ticks or anything like that like you would have for the normal crosshairs. So this is a little bit challenging, but regardless, it's pretty neat. The if you look at the general underwater graphics of, you know, like there, me torpedoing that submarine, it's very satisfying when you do kill off a submarine in a submarine, and I think that will be quite a bit of fun as well. And that's the general feeling so far. I obviously, and this I've said before, I've come from a Navy field background back in the day, and am I concerned a little bit? Yeah, of course I am. Am I excited that there's a new thing? To a certain degree, sure. Any new thing can bring, you know, changes to the game, can bring something different into the game, and maybe that'll be something cool. But at the same time, you know, and again, this is coming from just another game that was also a surface warfare oriented game. Submarines came around, and that was the beginning of a lot of people just saying I'm done with the game, right? And they ended up losing quite a bit of player base, and submarines were one of the causes for sure. And so am I a little bit worried? Sure. And I guess, you know, that's because I'm seeing submarines being kind of fitted into the game in a way that they never were historically, right? They're a lot faster than they are. But this is just me being, you know, let's say cautious, because that's the best word here. Again, but we didn't get the perfect testing environment either. So there's a lot of conclusions that I'm not really able to have. One other thing as well, and this is another thing, submarines did extend the game, and at times very annoyingly so. So it's clear that the game is over. Obviously the points were relatively, let's say, even at the time, and so there's a lot more taking of points to go. You have one remaining submarine, and that's really annoying because you see like an entire team going all around the place trying to deal with this, or, you know, locate and try to deal with this one submarine. Maybe that should be something that's addressed. That could be anything from maybe allowing CVs to have some kind of interaction with submarines, allowing other surface ships to have some kind of interaction with submarines. So I think definitely work needs to be done in that department, because, you know, having the one last remaining ship and then basically drag the whole match, which was supposed to be, let's say, a 6-minute match, into like a 13, 14, even 15-minute match is a little bit silly, because there's pretty much no other class that really does that except for super stealthy destroyers. But then again, in a lot of environments, if you have a carrier, for example, that destroyer is in trouble, where a submarine can just simply say, nope, I'm just going to dive down and stay down. There's no oxygen limit, and I think that might be an issue with the submarines in their current iteration. I think if there was like an air supply limitation, it would add another dimension to what a submarine has to do, and that could be compensated for other perks for submarines as well. One last thing, and this is regarding ASW, so anti-submarine warfare. Currently it involves some light cruisers and destroyers, and all in all, this current version of ASW I do find to be okay. It's fun, although submarines can still shotgun ships that try to get close, and that again could be something that gets looked at and worked on, so that a submarine can just simply surface and then just like point blank torpedo something to death and then dive down again, because at the shallow surfaces the depth charges doesn't work. all in all, some things to look forward to, some things to be cautious about, some changes to be made for sure, and we'll see how the test continues to evolve. Hopefully Wargaming has learned their lesson, truthfully, from the CV rework mess, and that the submarines will end up in a better place. Anyways, folks, that's pretty much all I have to say so far for submarines, and this final scene I really like because it's just really cool to have torpedoes, going after enemy submarines, even though not super realistic because obviously no such acoustic homing torpedoes or whatever during World War II. All in all, take care, folks. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. By the way, camera still a little buggy. I wish this was kind of fixed, but hey, they'll probably work out the bugs soon. Let me know your comments in the comment section below. Aside from that, take care, have yourselves a good one, and I'll talk to all of you again later on this weekend with hopefully another How to Get Good at World of Warships video.